Welcome to another exciting morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Saturday Morning Runnings, coming to you live from inside the zone with Lady D. Denise Gomez, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. Welcome to another exciting feature of the program where we talk about our traditions and cultures, memories of our childhood, and bouts of laughter. This morning's topic: holiday memories, Labor Day. Children love holidays. They see them as a godsend break from waking up early mornings to tons of homework at nights. Yet, holidays spent in the Caribbean islands were different from other countries because of our uniqueness, especially Labor Day. Joining me this morning are Jackie Brainbox Tyson and Shernette Mignot Brown. Jennifer Douglas will be joining us momentarily, and regrettably, we don't have our beautiful, nicely
Jackie.
adorned Max this morning. However, Max, we know you're listening, and you'll be wishing and hoping you could join us. Ladies, how you do this morning? On look nice, though.
We do good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
do
We
all
do
right.
good.
Yes.
Yeah,
Una have curls, have drop down,
I
perky.
will tell you.
Not sure what Jackie one is called, but look like, yeah. Me think me seeing a
Me,
little
me
She
try
have
see
she,
if me can.
she have a bouffant. You call it a bouffant.
but- well,
It's
thank
a
you very
bouffant.
much. It's a buffon.
Yes. I
Thank you
am
very
I
Me
much,
am
no
fresh
want,
guys.
from the salon.
me no
Oh,
want curse any bad words. So I shall leave that one alone.
I remember we had a when I was going to Veer, one of our school bus drivers. Him used to say bad word or anything. We say ha ha where you can't spell.
Yes, we used to hear that one too.
Yes, so it's another Saturday morning. Welcome, everyone. 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. Start sharing, spreading the word, subscribing to the Inside the Zone channel with yours truly, Lady D. Denise Gomez. Last Monday, um, Jamaica celebrated its Labor Day. And there
Labor
are other
Day.
countries too, that celebrate Labor Day or AKA May Day.
Oh
And
yeah.
as children, we recall some of us very vividly. Some of us have to go play catch up to remember because our long term memories are not all that sharp like others. Because I think I have the elephant memory bank here partnering with me on
I
the show, like Jackie and, and Max and Jennifer. Lord have mercy. You guys really, really, I really appreciate you, because I wouldn't be able to carry it like that. So because some of your experiences I never had. And so it brings that kind of authentic flavor.
I'm kind of glad you have the show so we can just share some of this experience because a lot of times I don't have anybody to share it with apart from my family.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm so
that's the
glad that
thing.
for the past year or so I've more for the past 2 years I've been with family more, so we can talk about some of these things a little
Mhm.
bit more, including my mother, my brother, my sisters. So I'm so glad I'm able to
Yes.
share on
So
this
Labor
program.
Day, nice as a picnic. And to those of you who are coming in, we welcome you. As always, you're welcome to post your comments in our chat room so we can see all the laughter and fun that goes on here on a Saturday morning. I'd like to thank everyone
Absolutely.
who has been subscribing because I'm up to 500 and
Oh,
like
nice.
50
Yeah.
something, nearly 560. So it's growing and I appreciate it. We are in a very busy space, virtual space.
Yes.
If you
Yeah.
jump on any given hour of the day, there is a program going on, whether
Going
it's
on. Very
music,
true.
talk, something. So
Yeah.
when we
Yeah.
do get an audience, we are very appreciative because people are stretched. And
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
they'll say to themselves, oh, because I do it, I'll go on, I'll spend a little 5 minutes. Then I remember there's something else going on over
Right.
another platform. I jump
Right.
over. So we are very conscious of that and say thank you. We would love to see the billions. And I'm sure
In
We'll
time.
get
there.
there.
We'll get there, right?
Yeah, one cocoa full basket.
Full
One
baskets.
each one tell one. That's the thing. If each person,
Mm-hmm.
you like the show, and it's important to subscribe, because then you get notification.
Mm-hmm.
You get your notification, and you can just hop on, or you could say watch later, but you have the notification.
Mm-hmm.
And you can make it a little folder and put them all in. That's what I do. I create
Mm-hmm.
a folder on YouTube, and I name the folder, and I save all my, all the programs I'm
Oh, cool.
interested
That's
in.
interesting. I never knew about the
Yeah,
Yes.
folder
yeah,
saving. Yeah.
yeah. You have your folder. You can name it whatever you want, and then when,
Mm-hmm.
like, Saturday morning run is come on now, and if I happen to have an appointment, or I'm busy or whatever, I get the notification, and I can just hit watch later, and boom, it
Mm-hmm.
just goes right in your watch later, and you go back, and then it's beautiful, because you can watch them back to back, like binge watch. So if you had missed
Yes.
any,
Yes.
you can just binge watch them. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
You're
because
on it.
my
You're on it,
son's
Sherns.
yes, my
Yeah,
son's
man.
godmother told me that she watches the show. But I said, I don't see you come on. And so she said, no, when you guys finish, because when
Mhm.
we're doing the show, she's
Yeah.
not able to watch. So she
Yes.
Right.
said, when you guys finish, I go back like in the night and watch it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And because it's on
Yeah,
my
Yeah.
channel, it gives you that privilege.
right.
Right.
Yeah,
And
to
the
watch
views
it.
are important as well, because, and then, don't forget to like, because once you watch it, we won't know unless you like it. So if you like it,
Mhm.
then you hit like, and then that adds, that's good.
Welcome to Empress Audrey. Hey, Audrey. Blessings to you too. How you do? How you do? Nice to see you. So, Audrey, we know all of us are, most of us rather, whether born in
Another
town, go
thing
to
too.
country, come to town. But everybody, as long as you know of a Labor Day in your country, then we would like you to share. And country, I mean across the world, because again, it's not just Jamaica that celebrates a Labor
Right.
Day on its
Lady,
calendar. Hmm.
may I say, I don't know if you have this issue though. Like some people will come on and they'll be making comments and I'm not able to see them. But you're reading their comments, but I don't see that they're there. I don't know if you have that issue with people who I can see, but you
Hmm.
can't. Like
Oh,
Nadine
because
came on
I
a few days ago, a few weeks ago,
mhm.
too, and a few other friends of mine. I don't know if you were able to see them.
I
So
see
I keep
them.
telling them to subscribe.
Yes,
I tell
and
them to
to
subscribe.
subscribe because it's like I usually use the y- you come on somebody's veranda, you want to go in the living room, but you really don't have no access to come into the living room.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
that's when you subscribe, you like, you share, you tap the bell, because when you
Mm-hmm.
tap subscribe, and then you will see tap all, and then you see bell.
Right.
Automatically, whatever I'm doing, it will pop up
Right away. Yeah.
right away, and you'll see it.
Yeah.
If
Mm-hmm.
you are on the veranda, so some persons may just come on, but they don't come into the space.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
If you don't
Mm-hmm.
come into the space while everybody is making their comments and so on, I may never see you.
Right.
Hmm. So it's important that you start doing that and typing your comments, and I'll be
Mm.
able to interact, acknowledge you, and so on. So, good morning, Vero. Morning, Vero. Andrea over there in Barbados. How it going, Andrea? Lovey. Good morning. Welcome. So, we are talking this morning about Labor Day. And for me in penance, and I'll just make mine very quick, it was fun because there was always something to do. And
Something to do.
if you were not doing something, somebody going to make you do it
Oh yeah.
because
Ah.
because it's Labor Day. And you
Mm-hmm.
have you ever noticed, and it's in the human psyche, we may be tired up to even Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And that morning of Labor Day or any given holiday, it's like you get a
Mm-hmm.
burst of energy. You
Yeah.
want to
Energy.
do everything. You wonder
Yeah.
where it come from. Everybody just perky and start to work, man. So
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
we
But
had 1 second, Jack. So in my community, there was the very active and vibrant Jamaica Library Service. We had one right in the community near to my house. And then you have your community center. When I went to Penance, the community center was thriving. I remember
Mm.
seeing young women and men, they're learning skills and so on. And they used to wear, I can't forget, some of them used to wear like
They
a
were
green,
uniforms?
yes, they wore uniform, like a green
Oh.
skirt and something. I'm picturing it vividly now. But in addition to them, 365 days for the year, being a part of that program at the community center, they would also spearhead some projects.
Mhm.
And that's what the community centers did and really pulled people together to
Mm-hmm.
make the community realize that this is your community. You have to do things to maintain it or else it's going to break down.
Mhm.
So whether it was the road infrastructure or a building, some kind
Mm-hmm.
of paint, the road. Because our
Mhm.
roads, even to this day, I'm asking my Auntie Joy how they road them. And by the time she described the road, I'm like, but it better you take off, put on your water boot and walk. Because
Yeah.
so there's always a need for these
Right.
major projects that you can
Mhm.
get to do throughout the year. But
Right.
collaboratively, when everybody comes together, that's when you get the greater gamut of the work done.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Right. So I remember that clearly. So that's my intro. Welcome, everyone. We're talking about the good old days of Labor Day, what you recall as projects in your community, big or small, because we know some communities were very small, but close knit, yeah, and could get the work
Mm-hmm.
done far more than the
Mhm.
big ones because
Yes,
everybody
and
would.
they may
Mhm.
not have had a community center, a formal community center like the community that I grew up in. There wasn't a community center. The only, center that you could think about was a primary school, the all age school.
Mhm.
And what people do on Labor Day, if they had nothing planned, you see people come out with like they have a hoe over them shoulder or they have a rake in them hand and them just come out
Mhm.
because they're going somewhere. They're gonna find
Mhm.
something to do. And then
Mhm.
we weed down the roadside and make sure it's clean. And sometimes they'll be doing work at the church. And I remember people just come on up and like they're whitewashing the church or something like that. And they
Mhm.
just jump in and do some work like that.
Yes, man. And I found that photo because,
Yeah.
the men would
Yes.
always come together and work the whole wheelbarrow and the cement
Mm-hmm.
and, just about everything, the sand
Mm-hmm.
pulling in. And, women are busy cooking. There's a central
Cooking.
part for cooking, wherever that cooking is going to take place. Whether it's up at we used to say barbecue, where they
Or
would do,
ball up a ball ground.
or,
A
where they
Everybody
would
ball
meet
do
up
ground,
a ball
yes,
ball
ground.
ground.
yes. Everybody have a ball
A
ground.
A
ball
ball
ground
ground.
or ball
Yes.
field. Mhm.
Yeah.
The ball field or ball ground. Right.
Mhm.
So Sharon's, what's your thanks, Jack? So Sharon's, what's your story?
Yes. Pretty much it was the same. What I recall is that we always had a youth club in the district. Like each district had a youth club. So ours was called the Black Diamonds, the Black
Aye,
Diamonds
Aye.
Youth Club.
aye. Mm.
Yes, me dear. And then there's an adjoining district they called Sign. That's where the post office was. So they had Sign United Youth Club, and we had Black Diamonds, and we would the young people would come together, and there would have been some kind of project earmarked to be done. And it's amazing how word got around without, like, now it would be like you're texting and you have a group chat, but back in them days
Mm-hmm.
you never have that, but the word spread. And you knew, come Labor Day, like Lady D said, no matter how tired you are. And also, Jackie, like you said, whatever skills the person had, they came out with their implements. They come out this what
Yes.
if
Yes.
you whatever your tool of the trade was. People never lazy and sluggard and stay home in
Mhm.
a bed, and so you come out. If it's a hammer, you have, like the song say, if you have a hammer, I'll hammer in the
In the
morning. You will
morning.
come out, come hammer. And I remember
Mm-hmm.
that I used to break stone with my grandmother because the roads were really bad, and they would, put asphalt up to a certain point. But
Mm-hmm.
then, like, going up in a few little lane and all the little lanes them that led off the
Mm-hmm.
main, them roads there was marl. They would just every now and then take a big truck and dump marl, and we know how marl stay.
Mm-hmm.
Marl would
Mm-hmm.
just, when rain catch
Runoff.
marl, oh my God, forget
Mm-hmm.
about it. So what they would do is kind of try to reinforce it. So my grandmother would, along with other women, they would break stone. So we
Mm-hmm.
would, the stones would be gathered, and you had a hammer, and you would break, but the stone breaking, it will culminate on the Labor Day itself, but it would start a week before, because the stones needed to be ready to be used by the people who are gonna, you know, put them at the side of the road or whatever. But that was a whole thing in itself to know how to break the stone. You had your hammer, and you would break the stone, and they would caution you against if you got a flint stone, because the flint stone will play up in your eye. I mean, we had no protective goggles, we had no gloves. We would just break stone, and you would break it, and they would look at the pieces and say, okay, this is a good piece, keep them at that piece. But it became a whole sort of skill that you acquired by this stone breaking,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes.
then they would put up a little hut over your head, because you would be out in the boiling sun
Darling son.
breaking stone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they would put up a little hut, a little makeshift hut, probably put two little coconut limb over one little something, a little triangular structure business. And you sit under there and you break stone, and then somebody would come and put on a pot. They would, and then you would be at regular intervals along the road. So you would have a stone heap here, so one up there, so, and then you would have, it would be near somebody's land. So you would get whomever it was would say, pick breadfruit, man, and you pick breadfruit, and you make a long trench, and next, you roast whole heap of
Right.
breadfruit, and whoever the
Mm-hmm.
shopkeeper was,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the saltfish, you buy saltfish or salt mackerel, and
Or
they would,
somebody bring piece of salt pork.
hey, salt pork jump off.
Oh,
My grandfather was a serious pork eater, and he raised pig, but he raised them, to when he sold a pig, he would keep a quarter back
mm-hmm.
just for consumption. And
Mm-hmm.
it was me, my two cousins, and my grandmother, my grandfather. So you had the corn pork barrel, and I want to tell
Mm-hmm.
you that up until this day, my grandmother had a nice like a earthenware kind of jug thing that she
Mm-hmm.
did it in. And we still have it.
Mm.
It's,
Really?
yes,
Those things you keep.
let me tell
Yes.
you, we
Mm-hmm.
still have it up to this day. I ended up using it for a flower pot. It should have probably clapped me by now. But I put it on the veranda, and I
Get
put
out of
water
there.
in it, and I put flowers that can stay in water. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's another usage for it. But but the corn pork, and my grandmother would get some, and they would fry it up, and you could smell the scallions in it. And after
Mm-hmm.
everybody work, you eat. So them say, "Oh, no work,
Mm-hmm.
not eat." But that was a part of it. So you labor and you work, and it was a matter of pride as well, because when the road fix up, you felt good. We did a lot of work on the roads because the roads were so bad, but also
Yes.
we would whitewash walls. We had a basic school in the district, so the basic school, and we had two churches. So we would the Baptist church and the Pentecostal church. So we would
Mm-hmm.
go there too and do some stuff. But you worked all day,
That is true.
for the
Mm-hmm.
most part.
Mm-hmm.
And then
That is
maybe you
true.
Mm-hmm.
might have yeah, and then maybe also later on, they started making trips as well. On Labor Day, well, then you have a trip
Mm-hmm.
coming up and so on. But it was all
Mm-hmm.
hands on
Yes.
deck, and people were willing. There was community spirit
Yes,
and
man.
pride.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Hmm.
yes. Because
I
especially 1 second, Jack, especially up at the primary John Austin all age school, eh, um, they used to do a lot of projects up there too. Sometimes the toilets, because is pit,
right.
so sometimes they would what you call the red something red oak.
Red
Red
Oak.
Oak.
Right. They would work on the toilets, change out some of the zinc them and all that kind of stuff. And
Right.
then yes,
And
and sometimes
reinforce the teeth.
some of the benches were like
Somebody-
almost popping down. By the
Yes.
time we go back to school, Tuesday bench now shake with you and almost gonna make you fall off. Kind of thing. Benches,
Brand new
yeah,
second
man.
hand.
Brand new second
Brand
hand
new
bench.
second.
And I remember once we had a one of our teachers in like when we go on grade 1 or something, they made us really clean up with classroom. We rearranged because most classrooms always had postings. You put posting up stuff on your classroom wall and thing. And our teacher made us clean up with classroom, man. And we felt so proud,
Mm-hmm.
because we put the work in. So you see, when we went back on Tuesday now for school, if anybody who didn't come to the project,
Mm-mm.
a big announcement to make, that nobody's
Yes.
supposed to do anything wrong because you fixed that over there. So
Mm-hmm.
your little hands that weren't here, please don't come over here, come touch. And
I'll come mess up
yes,
anything.
don't mess up anything. So as
Mm-hmm.
children, we learned that, you
Yes.
know, and we learned it at
Yeah.
home as well. We were taught at home, but we learned that you ought to keep your space, your community clean,
Tidy.
tidy.
Right. Yes, and
Yes.
take pride in your
Yes,
community.
man.
Yes.
When you walk around, you'll be able to say, I helped to do that. I did this, I did that. My mom did this, or I helped to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that gave everybody a focus. It gave everybody a sense of pride, a feeling of accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
not like no where them just graffiti up the walls, them and just throw things over there so and expect
Yes, man,
somebody
just
else to do it
nasty,
and
man.
all that. I don't
Yes.
know how we could bring back that sort of. I think more so in the rural
Community
areas.
spirit.
Yes, Jackie. Like I think like in the rural areas, that's more alive than so much in the urban areas because the
Mm-hmm.
urban the
Mm-hmm.
urbanites now, everything is commercialized and
Yeah.
it have to be done this way and that way and people, not really up on the
Mm-hmm.
thing like how they used to be. But
Mm-hmm.
that was something that was really a day to look forward to, the camaraderie and the
Mm-hmm.
end of it would and then by the end of the day too, because I mean don't put them projects didn't take all day because you had everybody helping.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time
Yes.
everything wound down and so people would go home and bathe and come out fresh and
Yeah,
cricket
man.
match
Cricket
and
match. That's what
Yes.
cricket
I was
match
coming
and
with.
Yes,
yes
Yeah.
or a
and
concert. Mm-hmm.
yes, oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
remember
Mm-hmm.
saying, the cricketers them christening them full white.
Yes.
What?
Them
Yes,
And
dressed
yes.
like
community
it's
now.
it.
Community compete against community.
That's
Mm-hmm.
how it used to go. Community against
Yes.
community and we all get the cup and
Yes,
you come
man.
out, come cheer and you make up a little cheer and it was
Mm-hmm.
all in good fun.
And you had
What?
some they also had horse racing in some communities. If you had that setup, whether it's down your ball field or around your road, they would have horse racing too.
We
Um,
did have we
Ah,
did have donkey racing. We never have no horse there, did we? We
donkey
had
in
donkey
here.
and mule. We had donkey and mule. No, serious, it's true. We had donkey and
Lily,
mule.
they laugh. We never have no horse up on every place there where we come from,
Horse
in the
Pickney,
country place. We have donkey.
deer and high
Yeah.
maintenance.
well,
And then put people out,
mule.
put all the little pit in them in a donkey hamper. And in the hamper, one on this side, one on that side, and the donkey a run down the street.
Hey,
And
you
what?
remember
Donkey
you
lady.
remember you remember the donkey crooper? You remember the something near donkey crooper?
Yes.
Donkey cool.
Me did get shit. The donkey did a run. I mean, we had a mule in the name Prince.
Thank you.
And me cousin up front, him had the pilot up front, and him had the jockey up front, and me there at the back. And me get shake off. Me get shake off the whole thing, and me have to hang on for the donkey creeper down at the back there. And my nose dead up on the donkey tail. Because me had me drop off. And then somebody see my say, Glenn, you have to stop this shit at a dropper. Me just a hang on to their life. But that was something else. And then somebody that tell you, because the cooper was underneath the tail, Lord help me.
Well, again,
Yee.
God, Jesus, Shirley,
No,
thank you.
sir.
Ah,
Ay.
so then, so you see what me. So the myriad of activities also came with a bit of
Yes.
drama,
Yes.
Yeah,
right?
man.
And then so you had and you would have football, you'd have
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
the donkey race or mule, you would have men who do them domino, because you know that no miss nowhere.
Oh no.
Some communities had
No.
domino tournaments. The men actually came from adjoining communities.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, man. And then you had the women now, especially those who did needlework, right?
Yes.
So you used to have the women who would, after some time, things kind of calm down. You'd have those who sit down and do them knitting and them a talk. But for the children, we remember being sent, so we were like the gophers.
Mm-hmm.
If you were too little to really take on any kind of task,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
them would send you here and there. So you got a full glimpse of everything that's going on
Right.
for the mini
Right.
projects all over the place. So whether it's to
Mm-hmm.
Right.
paint the school, down at the community center, who a chop bush, who a whitewash
Mm-hmm.
stone, right?
What
Everything.
clean grave them? I clean off the grave them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, the graves. I mean, especially the ones in the churchyard. Cause remember them have like the
Yes.
ministers who died and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, you
Yes.
clean off the graves and
Clean
all
off
that.
a
Yeah.
grave.
That's
Right.
right. So, we
Mm-hmm.
had all of those. I wonder which peeping Tom just come in here. Yes or no? Jen. Oh, Jen, we miss you. How you do?
I'm fine, thank you. Yeah, guys, how are you guys? I missed you. Last week,
Lord,
as
Yes.
I said, I could not, I was there, but was not there. I
I don't
don't
know
know
what
what
happened with
went
Jennifer
wrong.
last week, because usually the link I send you guys, I just feel Jen was on another link, because Jen tell me that it told her that she's waiting for the host. To me, that sound like some
Like
other
Zoom.
some other
Yeah, like Zoom.
some other place was happening there with Jennifer, but it wasn't over here. Me no know.
Yeah.
We got to see
Good,
you
No,
though.
good
thanks,
to see you
thanks.
again, Jen.
So
Yes,
Jen,
good to see you. Good to
as you know, we're talking about Labor Day, the things that we used to do on Labor Day. We know you growing in town. So and town people, yes, they had their projects. You remember any project? So welcome and say your good mornings
Well,
before we get into it.
good morning, everyone, and all the spectators and all the loved ones and everybody. Welcome, welcome. And yes, I'm always happy to be here. And Labor Day in Jamaica for me was when my mom used to grow every single plant in her yard. My mother used to grow every. If you mention a plant,
She
my
have
mother
it.
had it. My mother had
Wow.
plant that only bloom at nights. My mother had plant every single thing. And if you want the herbal stuff like the single Bible and everything, the tuna plant, she had it. The other day
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to somebody about the fern. They say it's a very
Yes.
expensive fern. My mother had that fern, and you would see it along Fern Gully, right? So, and what we would do for Labor Day, my mother would be in the garden planting. Well, every day she's in the garden, but we would come out Labor Day, it's a holiday. So we would come out and we would help her in the garden. But Labor
Mm-hmm.
Day for us, I don't think Labor Day in Jamaica, a few places will be seen painting and doing stuff. But in Kingston, every holiday is a dance, a party. As like it wasn't like I say Labor Day meaning you labor and you work. Yes, you used to have a little work in the morning, but when evening come, you hear sound music I play all over the place. Somebody have a
Yes.
dance,
Mm-hmm.
somebody have something. So they
Mm-hmm.
labor in the garden, they labor painting, but they labor dancing too.
Right.
So we
I'm
always
I
correct.
have
found it.
Expend
I
some
found it
energy.
strange. I found
the
it strange.
party. Yeah, they
I found
always
it
fun. But
strange
I
when I
don't know what
came.
it is. I don't know
Go
what
ahead,
it is
Jen.
like in the countryside. I don't know
Yes,
what
we
the people do
understand.
in the countryside.
You
Yeah.
would know how much you miss. Yes, Jack.
Miss.
Yeah,
But
you have
I'm
to go
saying
watch the front part of the show.
it was strange to me when I came here. First time I experienced Labor Day here, I was expecting people to be on the street or saying that they're going somewhere to do some work or whatever. So then everybody thinking about the next party or who
Mm-hmm.
traveling, going to
Yeah,
different places and
and it's just
whatever. That
cookout.
was
It's just
that
pure
our
cookout
cookout,
and
that was
meet
the
up and
strangest thing
eat.
for me. So I said, why did not do
Yeah,
no Labor Day work? I'm saying people don't do that
yeah.
Yes.
here.
Yeah.
People,
That is only
so
world speaking of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
that
Labor
was
Day is
strange
Because
just
for
world
me.
speaking.
Jamaican people work every day. We clean the place clean every day. The yard sweep every day. The most of the projects are done like in nursing, like like you have a nursing home or a boys' home or a girls' home, and they might
Well,
have
yes.
certain things to fix. They might want to fix paint up a room or something. That was the labor. And then or they
Yeah.
want to plant a tree or something. Those were the significance, like when one project, like a company. I don't know what they do now in Jamaica, but I know people had projects and they would choose Labor Day to do that project, whether to plant a
Yeah.
tree or to
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
to to um to do some thing for a girl's home or a boy's home or something.
Yes.
But Labor
Mm-hmm.
Day was like for different projects to be done,
Yeah.
not in the house. In the house, we clean the house every day, so we never needed to do any labor in the house. It was
Yes. And
more
they
out the
still have
street.
projects. They still
Yes, they
do
still
projects.
have
Even
project.
last week, they had projects all over the island, and people came out and worked hard.
Yeah.
So it is still going on. But as
Mm-hmm.
Jackie rightly said here, so we don't have nothing. You only want to know how
Yeah,
you
we don't
get to
see
see
any
extra
the
in your pay.
significance of Labor Day here.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
after the work is done, like we said in the beginning, after the work is done, some people go on a beach
Mm-hmm.
because it's a big beach day too. Them go
Yeah.
on a beach or cricket match in the community,
Mm-hmm.
cricket and football and those things. And we had so much fun. It
That's
was
true.
so much
Mm-hmm.
fun.
So let's not forget that we do have our viewing audience. We want to big one
Oh
up and say,
yes.
howdy, howdy. Please share your Labor Day projects that you recall. I don't know, did you go down last week to go work on a project? These things you never know. People are
Mm-hmm.
die-hearted to and not a fault to something positive. So we want to
Mm-hmm.
welcome Empress Audrey, Andrea. Let's see.
Ryan asked me what I'm drinking. Me drinking some JB.
And
Right.
Ryan, is that right? Is that my friend Ryan?
Mm-hmm. He
Yes.
says, hey, hey, morning, look all at my queens. Yes,
Oh
follow
gosh.
Ryan. We feel like we're the only people in the world,
What?
which
I
is what
tell
we
you.
And
Oh
Ryan
gosh.
says, we did go clean up church, yes, and we
Yes,
clean
that
up.
was one
Yes.
of them. Yeah, the churches. Yeah,
Yes, we clean up too.
yeah.
Andrea says we used to go to school and paint, clean desk, wash down buildings. Okay.
Yes.
That we
Okay.
know. Let's
Yes.
see who else says. I see. Okay. Then Ryan says, "Them days were good days. Oh my gosh, the food was good food.
Yeah.
Yes,
That
man.
is true. When they
Always.
drop them hand and a cooking there, you can't miss. Hmm.
And Beverly, I don't know if you see her. She said we go and weed the family plot.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes,
So
we're
Empress
just talking
Audrey
Beverly
about
says,
that. Yeah.
Godwin.
yes. Empress
Cleaning
Audrey
up the
says,
tombs.
we used to chop bushes on our street, get rid of rubbish. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
invariably, did you see, it's like if you were to compare urban urban life and country life, are two different
Oh yeah.
invariably
Yes.
did you see
Yes.
your community streets lined with garbage? because we were always burning. We would burn with garbage. We never had no trucker come through Penance community and pick
No.
up garbage. But we
No, sir.
we managed our garbage. We would burn peels you give to your
The
pig
animals.
and your
Yeah,
animals and stuff like that.
yeah,
You invariably did
Mm-hmm.
you see flies
yeah,
around, a swarm, no
yeah.
space.
Yeah, but you know what? Too, we didn't use a lot of can. I mean, of course, there was not like there was no bottled water.
Mm,
We didn't use
Mm-hmm.
a lot of cans. So
mm-hmm.
those things
Yeah.
are hard to get rid of. But like food, skin and peelings and all them things, you feed them to the animal. You
Mm-hmm.
boil it for pig, and for
Yes.
people who didn't have pigs, then you would give it to a neighbor. They would come collect it to boil for their pigs
Mm-hmm.
or whatever they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
So we recycled everything. We
That's
recycled our
true.
own stuff. We never had
Yes.
garbage trucks coming through. So to throw
No.
stuff on the road and all that, them things they never too. It was mostly like the overgrowth, the bush up, the place bush up, as they would say.
Mm-hmm.
And you
May I
would
come
chop
in?
it down and maintain it and that kind of thing.
And what I
Oh,
remember my grandfather to do with that, Sister Sherman, what I remember my grandfather used to do, he used to dig a
really?
hole. So like whatever garbage we had, whether we cleaned up the yard or if
Really?
we had stuff inside that
Hmm.
we used in the kitchen, and like the peeling skin that we not we would have put the peeling skin in the hole.
Yes,
We'd keep
Jackie,
the peeling
peeling
skin for the
skin,
pig.
girl, peeling skin.
Okay.
Yes,
Peeling skin. The
peeling
peeling skin
skin.
now with them boil and chop with chop up banana and like the
And
yam head them what they
breadfruit
don't
skin
want and
and
so on,
yam.
and that's for the
Yes,
pig. But then everything
right.
else now you would throw in this hole. And then
Mm-hmm.
when it's filled, my grandfather would cover it up back with the dirt and then dig a
But
Right.
hole
Jackie,
somewhere
but
else.
Jackie, realize that was composting.
Yes.
And that
I
near
love that.
composting now,
Yes, that's exactly what it
Hey,
is. Composting. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
So let's
let me
jump
tell
on
you.
over to what Hermin says. She said, them days fried shad with the raw or herring go well with the roast breadfruit, then wash it
Yes.
down with beverage made with sugar and sour
The
orange.
sour
Yes,
orange.
yes,
Yes,
All
I
Herman.
was thinking
right.
of that earlier.
Yeah.
Yes. My
Yes.
grandfather used to print it up and say civil orange.
Mm-hmm.
Silver orange.
Silver
Shad
Civil
and
orange.
orange.
banana. Shad and
Yeah.
banana.
And
So
listen to me, them are mixed in a one paint pan,
right.
It are
You're
mixed
right.
in a paint pan.
One
Yes.
When
kerosene
you take it,
pan.
you smell some of the paint left on it.
But everybody a drink it and nobody a say, oh, it not gonna happen to me.
Exactly.
You're right.
Oh my
So
Yeah.
God.
yeah, Sister Morrison said, in my community, that is what they do. Break stone and men would go clean the drain. We call it calbot.
Yes.
We the
Yes.
roadside walk and sweep up. We do the post office, paint or whitewash. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, those
ma'am.
were Labor Day work.
Definitely.
Yes,
Yeah.
those were work. But there
Yeah.
was always something about a police station. Why? Most police stations in communities, even to this very day, I saw a picture recently of a police station. I'm like, the, the officers really actually go to work, sitting to this place today, they're
Mm-mm.
here working.
Mm-mm.
Police stations always just run down, dilapidated,
Me
messy.
call it sweet. Me call it sweetie shop.
The police
Police
station?
station. We call it sweetie shop.
Sweet.
Sweetie shop. That means
Wait,
that
the
you
Interior.
come
police
and you buy
station
your sweet
is
and you
unkempt, Lady D. The police station is
eh?
unkempt. I remember they
Yes,
used to paint the
man.
police station too.
No, we know
Like
say
Labor
they paid,
Day.
but I'm telling you, some police stations just run down. It's like
Oh my
They
gosh.
always
it's
look
like
run
it's
down.
like
Always.
they
But
themselves.
listen,
I don't know.
it's not
There's
only
something.
Jamaica, It's not only Jamaica, because when I went to Africa, the police station is the nastiest place on earth. I tell you, I don't know how the police them work in that station.
Mm-hmm.
Nasty. And then up here in America, it look bad and not too bad. But the prisoners, can you imagine what the condition the prisoners they have to
Mm-hmm.
undergo in that
Well,
station? If the,
Mm-hmm.
well,
the if the
yeah.
police is working in condition, can you imagine
Mm-mm.
where they stay? It's
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
deplorable.
Yeah, man.
Mm-mm-mm.
So police stations, because I even found a picture. I couldn't put up the one I found. So I said, all right, let me be respectful and just post the one where they were actually like painting the wall, you know.
Right.
Yeah, they would
Because
go and
that
work on them,
usually
man. They
is
always
included in the
run
Labor Day
down.
project, like the police
Yes.
station, the post office, the
Mm-hmm.
churches,
Mm-hmm.
and the graveyards
Schools.
and so on. They used to clean, and the roads, of course.
Yes,
I
yes.
think
Because
everybody is responsible for their place, because if you have a police station with police, I know they have to be out there fighting crime and stuff like that. But if they have a community, that's the community where when you leave your home, your next living area is where you work. So you want to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that living
mm-hmm,
area is appropriate for you to stay for
mm-hmm,
8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours,
mm-hmm,
12 hours. So if all the policemen were thinking, they could have done some projects too and keep the
mm-hmm.
police station clean and updated.
But
A
they
pretty
usually,
house is
well,
not
in
the
some
house.
areas, they usually do that. So,
Well, I'm
it's really
telling you,
unbelievable in this day and age.
the one I saw, everything just popped down.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
Wow.
I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
where, but it just looked bad. I'm like, what
Mm-mm.
you doing, people? Why wanna go to work in
Then I
this
couldn't
kind
put
of a
together one like a Labor Day project and clean up the police
Yeah.
station.
well,
They can do projects for themselves. You can't wait upon government to
Yes.
fix everything.
But I
You have to fix
remember
it
police would do
yourself.
that during
I
mhm.
see
Labor
a
Day. They would
classroom.
do
I
that.
see a classroom, and I must say, my condolences to all the children who, was killed in that situation there.
Oh,
But I
yes,
was in
yes.
the classroom, and I sometimes go and substitute, and I see a teacher. You'd think is our house in the classroom. Her
Mhm.
desk is so neatly stacked, and with her pictures, her family, and the place is clean, her desk is clean, and so, and that's to say that's where I work for almost 8 hours for the day, and I have to
Right.
make it feel like home. So
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
we can make a solution to people who work in deplorable condition. Make it your home. Make it
Mhm.
a part of your environment, your community,
Part of your
a
Labor
part
Day
of your,
project.
that's where, yeah,
Mhm.
that's your Labor Days project. You can have it
Yes.
individualized. You don't have to personalize it, and make it your own.
That's
Yeah.
right. Welcome everyone. If you're just coming in, it's 10:46 and we're having a good time. Just reflecting on Labor Day or Labor Day projects that as children we used to do. And projects are still going on. There are some communities when you go in there, you have to, they can't even make you drive too hard because they protect their communities, their roadways,
Mm-hmm.
safety, just
Yeah.
about everything. When you go
Yeah.
there, when people hear of Jamaica and we talk, or other Caribbean islands, you know, people who have never gone into that territory wonder what is it that we are so proud of, why we talk about where we come from so much, but it's because
Mm-hmm.
we respect our soil, our homeland, our
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
beaches, because even beaches, people have also had
Yes.
projects where they go and clean up
May
Yeah.
I add,
the
like you said,
coast.
that Lady D,
Yeah.
I used to work for TPD Co,
Mm-hmm.
of JTV, and
Right.
we had a project at the time. It was a big project going on calling the SET program, Sustaining the Environment and Tourism. And students who are in college now would have experienced that project from they were in elementary school. That's how long it started, and
Mm-hmm.
we would go into the schools and have talks with the students and tell them about how important it is to sustain the environment. And these are some of the projects that we would do. We'd go to the beaches
Mm-hmm.
and clean up, take up the plastics and the mess. And Labor Day would be one of those days that we
Mm-hmm.
would take the students and group people together, and we take them to the different beaches and the gutters, even the
Mm-hmm.
gutters, and you see where turtle what you call it turtle park is now in Otrios. It was an open place where you had, people would just walk across the shortcut, and they
Mm-hmm.
had a makeshift bus stop there, and it was messy at times. And those are the places that we would go and would clean them up or on Labor Day. And we'd have a host of students along with us, and we'd clean up the gutters alongside there, and even the rivers that ran, in the canals there, would clean up all that, like the plastic and all of that. And it was a look. I mean, I would say people felt good when it was done, because it would look good when we're finished. Now, they've taken it from there and they've built a park there now, and people are enjoying that, and they realize that it's coming really from those days when they started the SET program. The SET program was also a part of the government initiative.
Because
I think
sometimes
the reason why they're having a lot of floodings in Jamaica, and even the other day when New York was flooded out, I think it's the garbage that people throw all over in the little drainage area, and even the gullies in Jamaica. I see they usually clean up the gullies during Labor Day. I think I've seen that before.
Yes,
But
that's
they
true.
clean up the gully, because if the gullies are with garbage and everywhere else is that drain the water, you're gonna have a lot of flooding. You understand me? So they can make sure that they clean up the drainage. Those are projects that you can do in your community, making sure that all drainage are clear. The gully, you remember gully, the water that runs alongside the what you call it again, and we used to play boat. We used to make paper boat and put them at the side of the
by the canal.
step up on the sidewalk. All right, so you have the sidewalk, a sidewalk, and then in the sidewalk you have
in the gutters,
right? In the gutters, and we used to sail boat. And some used to say, go on, my boat a win, and I'm sitting there. And yes, those things.
Paper boat.
Yeah, paper boat. But those papers used to go to the drainage and clog it up too.
That is
you
right.
understand me? So we have to be mindful of where, I don't know if they still have the gully things then in the drainage thing in Jamaica still. But those were
they do, but they're more
in some areas they do. But the infrastructure now is such that they have kind of corrected those things, because sometimes back in the day, roads were built as a need arose.
Yes.
So they would just build a thought, but now, as somebody had said, God now make no more land. The land where you have is the land you have.
That's right.
So what they're doing now, where a little one building was, because I call my husband's street, right, the street where he grew up on in Montego Bay. The houses that were there were all like one family homes. There were big houses because most of the time it was extended families occupying. So the houses were big. But what's happening now, they're pulling down the houses and they're putting up like multi
complexes
floors.
there.
Yeah. So now you might have a 6th floor building where a house was, and then the home itself now is on the top, and then the rest is commercial property. And because of that, now they have now learned, and along with the whole global epic, the what you call it, global warming, and they now know what affects what. They're now building, energy efficient things, and the whole situation with solar panels, and so the gutters and all them things are in effect to some degree, because my husband's street is street where he grew up on McCarthy Street in Montego Bay. It had gutters along each side, and it was a big deal. And like Jennifer, something would clog up sometimes, But now all them things are, and sometimes the street shifted, because in Montego Bay there's a street named Hart Street, and it was a little like tilted, and now they even changed the flow of traffic, and they have built up a different kind of way. So energy,
things have changed over time.
So they have
Part of our Labor Day project used to be too, because I also was a part of the St. Anne Commission for the Homeless, and a group of my co-workers from TPDCO and myself. And what we used to do is to go and paint. I remember on Labor Day we painted the pedestrian crossings. We were the ones who painted the pedestrian crossings.
Yes, and those are really, which are so in need, because we know how pedestrians we're not really principled people,
No,
we
no,
just step out and expect you to stop.
stop.
Yeah,
Yeah, sometimes pedestrians can be quite challenging, and
yeah,
you have to look out. So when you found that you undertook that kind of project, it was very, very important to do so. And
mhm,
Yeah.
many people know roadway well, because some can't read. We already got through that in one segment already. So those
right,
things are, some people are more visual. If they can't read the thing, they at least know what that means.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So that was helpful. Let's jump on over, but I think this is so good. We're just going back to our days. You see, Empress Audrey now, she says, me used to ride me daddy donkey, drop a ground few times, and broke hand took place.
Broke up.
What is this now? So hey Charlesy, Sister Charles said we used to take skin to make manure in the garden.
Okay.
Some skin, we don't know which one of the skin.
Maybe food
Banana
skin.
skin.
Oh, the
Oh,
Maybe
this the
peel.
food
peeling
skin.
skin. The
Yeah.
peel skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. So we're going through. Sister Morrison said, "Is it is true in Jamaica police stations always nasty?" There you go. Mm-hmm. All
That's a
right.
shame.
Okay. And just a paper boat. Those were the days.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
We
Paper
all
yes.
boat. We
experience
never had
that.
Yes. Yes.
toys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But today, I think where we have one of our major breakdowns is that many people are not passing down to their children some of these disciplines,
Yes.
Mhm.
the things we learned,
Yep.
because no matter where you go in the world, you have to learn how to be a clean and respectful person to where you live, your
Yeah.
community.
Mm-hmm.
So when we are driving and you just see a hand through a window and it throws something on the highway,
Mm-hmm.
you say to
Mhm.
yourself, what is that?
Mhm.
Because we were taught, if you're in a vehicle or you're walking as a child, if I buy patty on my way home, that patty, if I find a garbage bin, it going in there. But you never find me just throw a patty bag or
Yeah.
juice
Outside.
Well,
bag
Or
well,
just
Yeah.
on the
I'm going to
front
be,
lawn,
juice. Mm-hmm.
or you
well,
just
I'm
come
going to
home
be
with it.
honest. I'm going to be honest. Back in Jamaica, it was not very hard to do. You just open, like you're in the bus and you drink a bag juice, you throw the paper outside.
Tone,
But
a tone.
when I came to America, especially in Florida, I'm gonna tell you something about Florida. It's hard, very, very hard to do that. Because in my community, if you do it, you feel like all eyes is gonna be on you, you know. So in Florida, in the Bronx where I was, and, I love New York and everything, but I think a lot of people litter a lot in New York. But in when you come to Florida, where I live in my community and other community, it's hard to throw something on the street because it's so clean that you don't even want to even, no, you don't see spitting, you don't see people doing those things. And
But
I
Jennifer,
think
I'm
that
sorry, Jennifer. When I came here, and they all when I was going to school, and I used to have to go in the city in Midtown. And when I used to see the sign saying no spitting, I used to say, "What you mean no spitting? You mean to tell people say don't spit?
Oh,
How you just gonna spit like that?" And I used to go home and say to my mother, "I see
Yes.
a sign no spitting, no." And she said, "Yes, people will just spit, so you
Walk
know."
and spit.
yes.
And I said, "We said there is no bush where you just spit on the ground." And my mother said, "Yes." And I have seen where people
Seen it
just spit.
myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have missed a spit right out on White Plains Road.
Woo!
A man nearly
Somebody
spit
just,
on me. I just spat. It's a good thing if I had stepped up like 2 steps closer. And he didn't even
mm-mm.
look. The man just turned him head and spit.
Oi,
That's why.
Lord.
So you know they will tell you that.
Not my
if-
head. Not my
so
head.
in
So
the Bronx, if it's the last meal you have and it drop, they tell you nobody take it up.
No, take it up.
no,
No, you know that.
no,
Don't take it up. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
No.
no,
But
If you stop,
we don't know that. We don't know.
no.
no.
We don't do that kind. We don't know
But
that.
you know what? When I started working in Manhattan, and I used to see, it was appalling to me. To see the big old people, them, all the big old white man, them, and women. Not ever say white man. Let me take that back. Professional people, but I'm mostly the white one. I'm used to see. They
Mm-hmm.
would just buy them coffee, put it on the ground,
Mm-hmm.
put them attache case next to it, bend down there, sir, open up them condiments, whether sugar, cream, or whatever, put it in the coffee, pick up the cup back off of the ground, and you can smell pee and what, because
Yes.
you're
God.
talking about, usually it's in the subway system somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe it's because I used to work on 41st Street between 5th and Madison. So in that
Mm-hmm.
area, and they would just put the cup right down on the ground, fix them the thing, pick it back up, and just drink it and gone. And me say,
Yes,
how,
like nothing.
how?
Mhm. Like nothing happened.
Like it's like a damn table and
Yeah,
it's
Yes.
not.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
No, sir.
So we don't know that. We don't
No,
know
sir.
that. And I'm telling you, even though here in the Bronx, say the tri-state, where you have predominantly Caribbean people, it's
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
almost like a lot of people have just come here. They forget projects. They forget about being clean. Them just do anything.
Adapted. Yep.
And that's not, and adaptability
Yeah.
has, it can either be a
Yes.
Yeah.
good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and when you go to their house, it's all clean, but they forget that the community, you only clean in your house, and your doorway is
Well,
dirty.
let's
You
say
understand me?
so we
So,
think. Let us
huh?
say so we think.
So we think.
So
Yeah,
we think.
that's how
I'm
It's
it.
not
true.
sure.
Because I can't see your home being clean and you
Mm-hmm.
go outside and you're a pig.
Mm-hmm.
No disrespect to pig. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I have
Mm-hmm.
seen
Mm-hmm.
where people, the garbage can is within reach and you put the
Reach.
something right here. So
Yeah.
that is what you call, Hannah brought up.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
Hannah brought up,
Mm-hmm.
have not about it.
Yeah.
Care about the environment. Because let me tell you something, man. In the area I work in, those people, you can practically make a sandwich on the ground. The people them, and I'm not talking about just them property.
Mm-hmm.
They take care. I've seen people walking around, picking up stuff that other people have dropped
Yes.
inadvertently. Because nobody is like just dropping something. But they will
Mm-hmm.
look around, whether it's the wind carry it or whatever. You
Mm-hmm.
even have people with metal detectors going out there on the little sand beaches, the places, looking in the event something is out there or whatever the case may be. But you have, when you come into the area that are very compacted, the very urban areas, I mean, it is up to us to keep it clean. You
Mm-hmm.
can't look
Yeah.
at it and skin up your nose off of it. Are your neighbor doing it and you doing it? It
Yes.
takes
Mm-hmm.
somebody's hand to have dropped this thing here.
I
The
agree.
garbage, yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
garbage cans are overflowing. Somehow, I don't know if it's too many people. I don't know if the sanitation department need to have a different schedule. But sometimes the garbage cans are overflowing and people keep putting
Yeah.
stuff on the already
On
filled receptacles.
yes.
And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, God, man, you have a little bag in your hand, keep your little something in there and walk the
Keep
next
it.
couple of yards, then
Yes.
you drop it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you wonder why all these diseases breaking out. No, they have
Mm-hmm.
monkeypox coming down the
Mm-hmm.
pipeline,
No,
and you have
Jesus.
all kinds of stuff. And you know what
Yes.
marvels me too? Sorry for the tirade, but on even with the COVID situation, I was
Yes.
appalled when the mafia tell people how to wash them hands.
Mm-hmm.
You have to
Mm-hmm.
put out video on how to wash your hand, and
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden people come to your house, you have to say no shoes. That is something we know a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We know a long time.
But when you talk about washing hand, it's amazing how this thing has just turned on us, because you know that there are people. Have you ever gone into a restroom and people just
Mhm.
use the restroom and go right
I
through the
walk
door?
out. Okay.
You can,
Yep.
you
But
know,
A
when
shaking
my
hand,
mother was alive,
shaking
yeah,
hand
when
is
my
not
mother was
something that
alive,
I do like that. I
I
don't really shake hand like that
mm-hmm.
ever since. I will greet you and so on, but me not really holding out my hand because I don't me not shake hand.
you
I'm not
don't
the
know where.
kind. No, me not do that
Once
much.
you step, when my mother was alive, once you step in her apartment, you have to go straight to the bathroom and wash that hand before you come approach her and say good evening, good morning, whatever. Even if you're not touching her, you have to go straight in the bathroom and wash your hands before you come
Yeah.
out and greet her. You understand me?
Oh,
Because she said, I don't know where you come from. I don't know who you hold. Do not come near to me with that
Right.
hand. So
Right.
my mother passed
yeah.
away before the pandemic, but she would have said, as somebody tell you, you know, it a go lick on one day, and the
yeah,
nastiness, wash on
yeah,
hand. I
Yeah.
can
yeah.
even
Yes.
see
But
her. I
we
could
also
see
have to
her during the
remember.
pandemic.
We also have to remember that we live in a country where there are multiple cultures communing, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody comes with something different. That's why when in our courses, they have to teach us about cultural differences. In some cultures, you can't stare somebody in the eye. In some
Mm-hmm.
cultures, they don't wash hands that often.
Woo.
Mm-hmm.
So
Let me
therefore,
tell you
they
something.
have to they have to do the teaching on the TV, or you hear like Sister Shanette just said.
Just tell me that the culture they
She
will not
can't
wash
think
hand.
that they have to be telling people to wash their hands. Yes, they
Yeah.
have to,
Just tell
because some
me,
Yeah.
people are
just
coming
tell
from
me.
cultures where they don't do that very often. So
Listen, Jackie,
therefore,
just tell me that the culture there when no wash hand because the pandemic hit straight all of Italy, Paris, Rome, China, everywhere that the pandemic lived, and everybody was told you have to wash your hand, even if you come
yes,
from
you have to
Saudi
wash your hands
Arabia.
because some people don't wash hands so often.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're gonna be wrapping up now, but you know,
And try
well,
not to sit
go.
down on my bed when you come in from out the door. You know that you
Oh,
can.
Yes.
please. Don't even.
Yes. But as we are here really talking about it, how we were raised in the Caribbean, we wouldn't trade it. Most of us wouldn't
No,
trade it for
No,
anything
absolutely
else.
not.
And if we
not at
have
all.
adapted to things that are just not in keeping with how we were raised, then that's on us. Whatever that consequence come with,
Mhm.
you have to just deal with
Hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
Right.
truthfully, we respect all those who spearheaded projects in our communities. And there were just
Right.
some very vocal people. If things
Right.
Right.
were not going right, the first thing they wanted to do was to call a community meeting.
Right.
You
Mhm.
assemble either
Yes.
in your community center down across road at somebody's house, up at the school, at the church,
Yeah, the church.
somewhere, but
Yes.
Yeah.
some meeting was going to happen
Yes.
Right.
because something was breaking down
Yeah. I have to
Right.
commend my
in
mother
the
for that. My mother is
community.
that kind of
Yes,
community
and we had
person.
to ensure that responsibilities were delegated to people.
Right.
People
Mm-hmm.
volunteered because these no come with no stipend.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hello.
everybody did it without even asking. These
Yeah.
days, if you discuss the money part first, nobody
Mm-hmm.
know. Some people not interested. I'm
They're
not
not
just going
showing up.
to. They're not showing
Exactly.
up.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're not showing up.
Mm-hmm.
So those of us who still, and a lot of us still do that today, we love to know that our hands are touching something that will
Yeah.
benefit other people. We may not be
Right.
asking for no money. And if we are blessed with it, it is something we never had. So we give thanks for it,
Mm-hmm.
you
Hmm.
know. But we know that there was a time when we learned as children, all the errands they sent us on in that one day. Again, we saw the full gamut of all the projects that were spearheaded.
Hmm.
And man, you look at your community when you come off your bus or your
Clean up
truck,
the bus stop.
uh,
Yes. Hmm.
everything look
Lady
good.
D, Lady D, my type be a little bit naughty and do a segue. When we were small, you're talking about a 6-year-old, 7-year-old child. You're sending them to Miss Matty. Miss Matty, you're sending them on an errand, you know. And in that errand, the other person give them an errand within that errand. And them running, not them. We are running it, you know. Know
Yes.
what's happening? The same age children are in strollers being pushed.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But we're going to leave that one. We're going to leave that one.
Yes.
You're quite right, sure.
We're going to leave that one.
Yes, because I remember we shared how well you shared because some of us our school was closer and things like
Oh
that until
God,
we had to
not
journey
me.
out right into having to take public
Woo.
transportation. But we knew about walking through bush early,
Yes,
Oh
go
yeah.
down a river
Maka,
early. We want to
Maka
go
Bush
down through some slope, some
Mm-hmm.
track. You
and
know,
Yeah.
Maka,
And Drew water wet you up.
Juwata Crack Bush, Maka,
And I'm
Stepina
and
in
I'm
a mother
seeing
nest.
and I'm seeing on the video on YouTube channel, they show a video on how children reach to school, that they have to be walking some terrible bridges, some
Yes.
slope, and from different like
Yeah.
the
Countries. I
Philippines,
saw that.
different countries. So and guess what? Those and I want the American kids and kids who have privilege to know that kids who grow up like that are better, are sometimes, most times, are better citizens because guess what? They knew where they were coming from. Those hard things push them to do better for their
mhm,
children and for their
mhm,
community. So
mhm.
sometimes you see we go through the hard life, but when we tell you to get up, make up your bed, clean up your room, wash the dishes, it's not that we're trying to make you work like a child slave.
Slave.
We
Mm,
are training you to be better
Yeah.
citizens and to be more respectful and to know that later
responsible.
on you're going to be teaching your kids, and that is how the thing goes on. But I have some people to pick with. You have some people born in Jamaica used to carry banana upon them head, and them tell them pick, they don't want to tell the pick them so they carry banana upon their head. Them a go on
Yes.
like them they born with gold spoon in their mouth.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And the pick
Start
them
picking
know
them.
nothing. And then they
Yes.
grow up and the people them start to hang out with gang and stand them
Mm.
say, look how my son come up to be. And you
Mhm.
cause it. Because you never teach them about the culture, the real culture, where you coming from.
Mhm.
If
Mhm.
them hear them story there, they become better people. But
No,
you
and
know,
I agree. And some children will take it, and some will tell you, "Say that for your time."
True
Right.
that.
Mhm.
True that.
Yeah, they will tell you.
True that.
These here will tell you wherever in the
Yes.
world they are.
Oh
They will tell you
goodness.
that that's not what we do today.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's why
That's
the,
ladies,
80
yes.
them can kill each other so much because they just don't know culture. Culture is what, if you look at the Indians and the Chinese, they keep culture alive. So when you
yes,
keep
bro.
the culture, people them know say say most of Bronx science kids are Chinese and them something there because guess
Mhm.
what? Them say education, you can't go back to China, go do the way me used to do. You have to do
Discipline.
better. And then make,
Mm.
you
It's
know,
discipline
but
though.
I am a
Yeah.
tutor, and I'm telling you, I am ready to help the children who can't read. And if I ask the people, come on, let me help your kid, them no want no help. Them feel say them Pickney bright. And they don't want the help. But I am here to make them better people.
Mhm.
You understand me? So come on, man. People, I come the people in the comments, the section over here. You are all welcome, and especially to Ryan. But one of them make the kids them let them know say them need for get them like a private lesson, like a private tutoring on them something there, make them better, make them better.
So
Mhm.
that's a project for your next Labor Day, Jen.
Yes.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies, it was good. I think you all
Oh.
did well.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you. And I'm looking forward to next week. So, ladies and gentlemen, if I know most of you on here are subscribers, but you can always share the link on my behalf. and ask persons to subscribe to my channel, Inside of the Zone with Lady D Denise Gomez. By next week, I should be in the 600s because I'm almost at 600 now. And that's a blessing because when I started this, I was like at 200 and something. So it is picking up.
Yeah,
And I'm
Mhm.
thankful because, Rome was not built in a day. And
right.
I like to tell people, if you are at a certain level in life, hurrah to you if you did it by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that it takes
A
collaboration.
village. Mhm.
People have to collaborate. You have to connect with somebody. If you feel that you can go through waters by yourself, me sorry for you, but it don't work that way.
No.
Yeah.
Don't
It
work that
doesn't work
way.
that way. There is somebody who is going to have to teach you for you to
Mm-hmm.
learn something, right? Like Jen here
Mm-hmm.
this morning. There's somebody who's going to have to teach you, like Jackie, who is just in this moment of her life, taking on new spheres.
Mm.
Right?
Bless your
So,
heart, girl.
bless you. So
Hey,
we are
listen,
so, yes, ma'am.
I'm almost 1 year already.
Yes, yes.
It's almost a
Time
year. The end of
flies.
this semester, 1 year. I have only one more year to
Yeah,
go.
time
So
fly.
Time flies. So
Time
we
now
God
wait
is
on
we're
me
good.
glad.
already.
So, ladies, you know how we always
Congratulations.
do. You
Thank
know how
you.
I always do. I want you to just right now share what you do.
Well. The pudding pan is here. The pudding pan still working. Yesterday, I had somebody come and pick up two puddings, and I realized that people don't get good puddings and cakes in Florida, and they are calling me.
Sure.
So hit up the pudding pan 917-533-2380.
Okay. And I believe this looks like Shern's.
Yes, mine is a little bit colorful there, but I have so much things. I mean, it's African inspired, American inspired, meaning the people in black, the stuff that is cultural. Some people don't
Yes.
really like the African American connotation, but all of the gift items are, and it's not just gift items. It's houseware. It's Bible cases. We're talking about mouse pads, calendars. Now it's graduation time. You could get a nice planner for your graduate. It's a lot of things on there. I can give you a virtual calendar that you could flip through at your convenience, or I can give you a physical calendar depending on where you are. So you can hit me up. I don't. I have a WhatsApp page, Shades of Color by Shern, 646-342-6838. You will love the items, I promise you. Great drinkware, hot cups, mugs. Summer coming up, you want to keep hydrated. Wonderful tumblers that you can carry around with matching bags and totes.
I sure. Thank
I
you.
Okay. It so happened that I am doing a port. I'm a tutor at the moment. I'm a lady of many hats. I'm a SLP and all of that, but I am tutoring children also. And I decided to do a poetry competition, getting the kids then back in the groove of writing poems. You remember roses are red. Ryan, remember when they said this one to me? Roses are red, violets are blue, sugar
I
is sweet, but not as sweet as you.
That's right.
I
Okay, so I remember those little poems, and so I decided to go with the first to third grade this time around to bring in poem. I only got one poem, you know. I don't know. I'm trying to find out what is happening, why children are not, our parents are not encouraging children to write poems. And so I want you to, enter the competition, and you send it to the email, bronxjennifer@aol.com. And come on, let the children enter the poem, and they need little things to get back to school. Maybe they want to buy an iPad or a tablet or something, and it stretch across the whole country. It stretch across Jamaica, the West Indian, the Caribbean. Everybody can enter. Okay, so come on, get the kids them doing some little dialect poetry or regular poems. I got a nice one last week from a child in the same age bracket. It does two. I said three stanza or two stanza. Okay, than three or more. Okay, no less than three stanza. All right.
Okay.
So get the children involved.
Thank you, Jen. And for yours truly, Lady D. Denise Gomez, I am the presenter and producer of Inside the Zone. It's a radio program that airs Mondays, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., and Thursdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Linkage Radio in Mount Vernon, New York. I'm also an MC. So if you want me to come MC your dinner, your party, your concerts, I'm available. I'm a voiceover specialist. I'm a playwright, and stage production is one of my fortes as well. You may subscribe to my YouTube channel, Inside the Zone with Lady D, and you may call me 914 304 2592. If you miss that, 914 304 2592. You may also email me at the name of my show, Inside the Zone nyc@gmail.com. So, ladies, I think we are doing well.
I sent you something in the mail, Lady D. Did you get them?
Received this
Oh,
morning.
okay.
It was handed in to me this morning. I will
Okay.
delight myself and get back to you.
And you got your picture. You got your
Oh,
picture from your friend,
picture.
from Ellie.
Okay, so I'll take out the sub note of the package.
There was a picture in the
So
book.
I will kindly go and look in the book now. But I read the cover and saw that, yes. So we will do due diligence, of course. Well, it's been good. Jen, good to see you. Glad you could come on
Okay,
this
nice.
morning.
Yeah, thank you.
And
All
Sherns, I
right,
don't know what
ladies.
hairstyle
And we
you've been
miss
dropping up.
Max. We miss Max.
Yes, Max, I hope you sip tea, juice.
Yes, Max, feel
So
better. Get well soon,
Yeah,
Max.
feel better. Yeah. Oh my.
Yes,
we miss you this
Mm-hmm.
morning,
we
Max.
miss
But
you.
Okay, miss you.
Yes,
all is well. So if you all notice, I don't have no meeting this morning. It's one of my back weekends. We don't have no meeting, and I'm just
Okay.
not going anywhere. But stay
good.
right here today. I'm not going away until tomorrow morning to church. So
Okay,
Amen.
I
guys.
want to say
So take care.
blessings. Thank you, ladies. It's always
Yes,
so good. And to our avid audience, what would we do without you?
Yes.
right.
Aha. Let's see what Empress
Okay.
says. Thanks, ladies, for the morning laughter and sweet memories. Have a blessed day, everyone, and stay safe. Nice way to close out
Yes.
the show.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
guys, blessings, blessings. As always, love yourselves, love your
Big
children,
up to God. Big
and
up to God.
remember in
Yeah.
Yeah.
everything you do, it is the will of God
Yes,
God.
concerning you.
Amen.
Blessings.
Amen.
indeed. Walk good.
Bye, y'all.
Walk good,
Well, good guys.
everybody. Okay.